Croqueta Chat. And we have a special guest for everybody this week. We have the amazing team right here, Glenda Lumumba.
We got boom, boom.
Gotta get that boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that
Boom, boom, boom. And of course, my brother, some guy named Mike, hitting it up in the chat.
Our fabulous
as well.
producer.
What's up, guys?
Yes. It's going to be a fun recap.
Oh, so excited
Lots
to have you guys.
to talk about.
Yes.
So let's get into it. So, Mike, turns out that Glenda and Lumumba are recording live from Boom Boom's room. That's going to be Boom Boom's future room right there. I love the color.
Wait.
I've seen...
Is that Boom Boom? The Boom Boom room? Or is it Boom Boom's room?
The boom. I mean,
Hey, we're not gonna tell you. We're gonna tell you if he's conceived in here. We just know he's gonna be housed in here.
Boom is going to see this
that's
interview
great.
and be like, Mom,
But
Dad.
according to Glenda, I think he was conceived somewhere in Dordogne, France. You know, and you guys are practicing as you speak.
I don't know if the shows are anything, they've been happy the whole race, so it could have been
Yes.
at any of these locations.
Yes. Mike, yes. I'm just so excited.
Locations.
Yeah, I'm just so excited to have Glenda Lumumba on. They are such a positive couple. They're lovely. In front of what you guys see is what you get behind the camera with these two. They're
Yes.
just so awesome, so loving, just their vibes. So excited to talk about the race with them. Obviously, the ending is not what a lot of people wanted. Guys, you had a lot of people rooting for you.
Yes.
A lot. And you are one of America's favorite teams for a reason.
Aw.
But,
Yeah.
the ending was tough. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're happy about being, able to collab with you guys.
Yes.
To be able to share not just our story, but your story.
Yes.
Because you guys are not only like one of the toughest and the most
and most fun.
the funnest team,
Definitely the fun team.
most competitive, but you guys are also the hottest team.
I know.
Like, everybody's like, oh my God, who's that?
Hey, make me blush.
Have you guys seen any of those comments on social media where they're like, "Oh my God, Lewis's arms"?
Yeah. I'm telling you, women are fanning Michelle. I know you're having to beat them off.
I'm okay with it. Actually, it's the guys that are loving Lewis's arms the most.
I have that effect on me. I don't know what to say.
Croqueta Chat is just going to be a little bit of recap. What do you do to get that strength training in, Lewis?
A lot of flying down fire poles.
That's right. Let's get into the episode. Episode 7. Actually, before we get into it, let's do a quick episode 1 through 6 recap. Glenda Lumumba, talk to me about how you felt your arc was going this season. First of all, your edit arc was amazing. You guys got a lot of airtime. You guys were, super positive. Everybody loves you so much.
Aww.
And then, I mean, I think edit wise and airtime wise, it was still great. But I think your performance, might have been struggling a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes. I think we started out, first of all, it is so the anxiety is so high when you're first there in Germany. Then we find out that there are things that aren't that hadn't happened before, like a scramble. We're like, what is a scramble? What's that? And then no non-elimination round. So the stress for me was super high, and no one wants to go home, but especially the first leg. So I think for me, I was like, we just cannot go home the first leg. No way did we expect to do second in the first leg. And so we were doing really well. Second leg, second. And then you do the thing you're not supposed to do, which is not read the clue.
Yeah.
You have to read the clue. So that just kind of, that plus the directions, plus not doing well on the challenges. It just was like everything that could go wrong in the mega leg for us went wrong, but we still, we just, pushed through and, kept pushing, stayed in it. But it's just kind of hard when you're in the back to kind of
catch up.
So for us, it was harder to keep pushing.
Yeah, there was a lot of good racing in between though. You know, we did pretty good. I don't want to spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen episode 7 of The Amazing Race, but we were eliminated. Sorry.
Yeah.
And you know, we really did give it our best.
Yeah.
You know, you never know which challenge or which detour or roadblock is going to be the one thing, or even the directions is going to be the one thing that you have a brain fart on.
Yeah.
And we had that toward the end, like multiple times. Yeah. And so even though we actually, did pretty strong to begin with, you know, it just piles up. So
yeah, and then we did okay on the dance challenge, but then that second dance challenge, oh my God, against the dancers, Lord have mercy.
You know what?
That was
my guys. No, I give it to you guys because I know that the first, as a dancer, because Luis isn't a dancer, but the first challenge was a lot easier than the second one. Because even us, like adding a prop, learning different things, I'm sure you had such confidence after going from the first one to this one.
Yeah.
I was a little afraid for Luis at the moment. When we started learning and it kept going and going, he kept asking like, wait, there's still more? You're going to keep teaching me? And she's like, yeah, there's still more. And I was like, the moment he asked that, I was like, oh my God.
I was sweating, guys.
It's a bad idea.
I was sweating because it's also a lot of pressure when you have a great dancer on your team because it's all on me. Pressure's all on me. Yeah. So I was sweating and that dance is really hard. And first I didn't understand why you guys would go to that dance challenge, but that makes sense because the first one was pretty simple. So you guys are probably thinking, oh, the second one's probably going to be easy too, like simple as well. But that dance, even Maddie and Q, Aubrey and David say how hard that dance was. And going back to where you guys were saying about your performance, it's just that I feel like the competition this season is very tough.
Yes.
And it's not if you make a mistake. It's when you make a mistake and how fast you can fix those mistakes, right? So we all made mistakes, right? And it's just you got to stay focused. And when you're in the back of the pack, you got to make less of those, mistakes and less costly mistakes. Because when we got 10th that first time, it was hard for us to go back up. It took us, 4 legs to get back to the front. So
So we're going to France. Talk to me about going. Glenda Lumumba. Obviously, you guys were in last place the leg before. Mm-hmm. How was the plane ride? How was behind the scenes getting to France? You guys didn't know you were going to France. You get there. Anything interesting happen?
Behind the scenes?
Yeah.
I recall it being a good plane ride.
You guys remember in the airport when we got our tickets and they didn't tell us, but we saw Toulouse.
It said Toulouse
on the booking ticket, and we were just like,
Luis was telling me that
doesn't sound like a real city.
Yeah, he was like, they're tricking us. They're telling us that we're going somewhere and it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I was like, that can't be real. But that's the first time, Mike, that they have an actual city name on our tickets. It usually says like unknown, which is crazy because everywhere and also like every time we go to an airport, the monitors will say unknown for our flight number. Yeah. Isn't that wild, guys? What we went through?
It was like covert CIA clandestine stuff going on. Like, how do you change the actual flight location on the ticker tape? I don't know how you do that.
That's so crazy.
I know, that's insane.
It was so wild. We lived something that nobody else got to live, like, ever.
Definitely.
But when did we find out that we were in France? Like, nobody told us, did they?
I don't think they did.
I don't think anybody told us.
No. I think when we landed and we looked around the airport, and
everything's in French.
We kind of picked up that things were in French, So we're in France. I think at this point, in the entire race, I really feel like having seen so many people go home, there was also more of like a weight to it because these were now people that you had spent the past, 3-4 weeks with. Yeah. And so now, to see Will and Abby go home, to see, team, Linton and Sharik go home, to see Dom and Rich go home, to see, just everyone. Yeah. It started to get, I think, more real and more intense because it was
for sure.
kind of, being reduced down to, okay, Like these are starting to become our competitors.
Yeah, you see less seats on the like more seats open on the plane. They're like, man, I could stretch out right here. Oh, Rex Ryan used to be here. Let me get little by little. Like you see more. It's like it's an eerie feeling. So and then so most episodes it's like last few episodes it's like, oh, we're going to Jordan. You see Phil tell us about going to Italy. We didn't know anything until we got to the airport. We see we're in France. And I want to say, obviously, it's a travel day. We rested it, and then the next day we raced. It was a long bus ride to this region. You guys remember that, right?
France? Mm-hmm. It's like the south of France, right?
Yeah. It was, I want to say like an hour and a half ride to here.
Yeah, definitely countryside.
Oh my
goodness! Hills. It was called, the land of 1,000 castles.
Yeah,
and it lived up to that name.
Yeah. This is like the Beverly Hills of the Middle Ages, Mike. like, oh, you from Dordogne? You got a castle? I want to marry you.
Oh, that's the name of the episode. Beverly Hills of the Medieval Ages.
Island. If you're from Miami.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so talk to me, guys, then about your pre-race mentality, right? Glenda, Lumumba, you guys are coming in, 45 minutes behind Lewis and Michelle, but only 15 minutes behind 5th and 6th place, which was Emily and Molly and Michael and Marcus, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. What is your mindset coming into this leg of the race?
We fully do not believe we're going home. Honest to God.
100%.
We are in this race knowing the history of everything that we studied. You never know. Strange or crazy things have happened. People have lost their passports and been eliminated. People have got into arguments, have gotten lost, right? So we literally are like, this is still anybody's game is our mindset.
You guys had a mentality throughout the leg too, which I loved, which is amazing. Throughout the leg.
Our mentality really, our confidence, I think, had grown because we realized that we could run strong legs, that racing with our strategy, we were able to to be successful. And even though we did get behind in one or two legs, we may have started at the back, but we never came in the second to the last place. We always gained on a team, or at least one or two teams. So we were like, you know what, just by being consistent and racing our race, we're already, we're starting at the end, but we really felt like people were probably nervous because, they knew we were coming. We had even more incentive to not make any mistakes, and we had our game plan.
So we made another big mistake.
well,
we turning the car over into a ditch. I don't know. I mean,
all right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a hot second. Yeah.
When you're in the back of the pack, you get this superpower of just wanting to push through. Because I know that you felt that as well. Yeah. It's it comes from within, and you have no idea what it is. But you're like, I'm coming.
Yeah. And we needed a superpower to start off this leg because before we even got the clue, we had to run up the castle.
Yeah.
They didn't show that, but it was like a decent run by just the director Bertrand was like, all right, when he sounds the horn, give it a few seconds and you start running. And we were all like fatty breathing when we got to the clue. Like,
you guys remember waiting on that horn? You're like, okay, when the horn blows, and then he blows it, it's not like a horn sound. It's like.
And so I'm laughing because he's like, and I'm like, it's this really nice, I'm expecting. So I'm laughing and I can't run and laugh at the same time because I'm like, what is this,
dude?
So the leg didn't. So your leg didn't start with you opening the clue? Is that what you guys are saying? It started with you running after this horn?
Yeah, running, and then we had to run up to get the clue. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And
that's
then,
great.
Yeah, and then it says to go to Chateau Camarac, right? Camarac, I don't even know how to pronounce it. So Mike, on the additional notes, it says go north, right? And then you'll start seeing this street. We are in the middle of rural France, dude. Yeah. There's not street signs. There is nothing out here, and obviously what
you're trying to say, it's not a grid like New York or like Miami. It's not.
So you see streets everywhere. So we went north for a bit, and there's a lot of little streets going different directions. We saw a lady outside her house.
Well, at first, what happened was we looked at the map and we couldn't find where we were.
That too.
So the reason why we stopped, because if we would have found where we were, I would have told Lewis, go north and then I'll figure it out. But I had no placement to start with.
Yeah.
So that's where you go to see that 15 minutes can go by like this.
So,
like
and then that's when we saw a lady outside with her dog. We're like, can you help us? She ran inside her house.
Yeah.
She kept
hiding. She hid behind the tree and then
we saw another guy across the street and we're like, hey sir, can you help us? He's like, no, I'm not from here. And I'm like, why did I sound German? I don't know. So and then they were like, oh, can we use your phone? He goes, no, and then he walks inside. We're like, all right, whatever. You gotta understand, Mike, like if you live out here in the middle of this area in France, you like your solidarity, you like your privacy. And if somebody probably comes up to you, with a bunch of cameras, they're probably going to be a little upset. Like, nah, like, leave me alone. So, I get it.
We also spoke to a lady who only spoke French.
Mike, so
she couldn't find the place on the map.
Exactly. So that's why you see Derek and Claire catch up to us. Because we went back into town, and that's where the whole...
And that's where tourists were.
Yes, that's where tourists was. That's where the whole follow us. And I'm like... No, thanks. I already got directions.
Talk to me about how you started the race, your mindset, and then the mindset of Derek and Claire caught up. Oh, what's happening and all that stuff. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I knew time was ticking. If I was going to see another team, I knew it was going to happen. We're very all right. We see them, whatever. We got directions. We're gonna know where to go. By the time I saw Derek and Claire, we already had very good directions. It's still difficult getting there, man, but we had better directions. All right, so I got to defend Aubrey and David a little bit here because we did try to work together, but the thing is, we had separate directions, so Aubrey and David probably knew that we were also trying to find a way, so they were kindly saying, hey, follow us, but I already got my own directions. I'm not going to follow you because I don't know what your directions you have. Yeah,
and there was no time to explain, oh, no, we got different directions. They were like, follow us, and they left, and it was like, we can't follow you anymore because we got other
Glenda Lumumba, what would you guys do if somebody said, hey, follow us?
We're following, we're doing our own thing. Yeah. We said in the beginning of the race that we were not going to pair up with anyone. We were going to just focus on working our own race because... We've seen in different past episodes where people actually messed up multiple teams following each other. So we just were like, no.
Did you ever work?
Huh?
Did you ever work with anyone?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, no, not really.
No, not really.
Not really. Go ahead.
So head of the class, the mega leg, when we were in the class trying to figure out the anatomy, we tried to work with Rich Dom, but it just didn't work out. No. So we were like, this is not going to work.
Because we were so far behind. But that surprised me, during this leg in the Amazing Race that so many people did try to work together. And then another thing that surprised me, since we out, we gonna talk.
We gonna talk.
The fact that everybody was following Marcus and Michael, that right there blew me away.
So is that only this leg, or is that before several legs?
I feel like for a number of legs, there's certain teams that are starting to follow Michael and Marcus as a strategy.
Yeah.
And so that really kind of surprised me. Because, we didn't come into we had seen previous seasons of The Amazing Race where certain teams did follow other teams, and that kind of leaves you at the kind of at their mercy. Yeah. Vulnerable, so you don't know. But I guess by this time they had done so well, they were gathering like a little tail going there. So, that was kind of interesting.
Well, a little funny behind the scenes was they told us afterwards that Aubrey and David and Derek and Claire went down the hill wherever they were going, the other direction. Derek gets out of the car and his compass doesn't work in his car. So he was just outside trying to figure out directions, by his watch, just like a lost little puppy. Yeah. And basically they had to turn around because they were going the wrong way.
Yeah. So I think there's two differences, right, between following and working together. You guys didn't even work together with anybody. You guys were just doing your own thing. So
yeah, we We probably should have followed the
no. Only on the mega leg.
Yes.
Because on every other leg, the directions we were spot on.
Well,
we just didn't do well with the dancing.
So Lumumba actually on this leg, which is the 7th leg, he actually had the right directions, directions, but he second guessed himself.
Let me tell you why.
And that's how I ended up driving us into a ditch, because we were on a road we shouldn't have been on, because he second guessed the very first thing that he said to do. He was like, "No, let's not do that."
But let me tell you why, though. Right? So I think it was D25. It will forever be etched in my brain. The road D25 we were driving on, and it was like it turns off to Les Isés or something like that. Yeah. And so we were about to turn right onto Les Isés, and it had a red triangle. I don't know if you guys remember the red triangle, and it looked like there was a tractor up on that road. And I was like, that looks like a construction sign.
It was something dangerous.
I was like, babe, we're in a foreign country. I don't want to put you in danger. I'll just get us there some other way. Irony.
No other way. Yeah.
The irony. Yeah. Because me choosing not to go down the directions that we had, that were the actual directions, that were the actual direction that we ironically had to turn around and go down anyway, because I decided, hey, for the safety of my wife, I didn't want to go down a road construction area. We ended up, our very next turn was down the that road that we ended up turning.
Did you Google Map it? Like, did you guys
5 minutes later?
You stopped and used the phone, or you just made your own path?
Did you ask for directions, or you follow the map?
No, so on the map, I was looking at the 2 different routes. One of them was, the direct route. And then the other one, if you continued on D25, it's probably like 10, maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes out of the way. Yeah. And so I was thinking, okay, we'll go semi, to the left and kind of figure out, how to get back on the highway, on the right way. But, in front, listen, all those roads are so narrow, they don't even look like roads. And so it was just a bad decision.
Yeah, I mean, we can get to that later, but my thing was I always wanted to have Lewis stop, because I don't know if it's like that where you live, but here, if you get on one highway and there's another one is always going to take you longer, or another road has more lights, or this place has more traffic at a certain time. So I would always tell him, I want to stop because I want to go the fastest way, Mm-hmm. And then sometimes we would just go by the map, and it wasn't that we would get lost or like we knew kind of where we were going, but we were trying to follow the map, and it's hard to do it off the map because it's a one way, it's a this, it's a that. It gets
and it's
difficult.
not north and south. Like Mike, these roads were like, to go north, it's like this, south,
tell me.
And then you're looking at the compass. There's no point looking at the compass.
Very true.
We've been to Paris, right? And we can tell you this story, like the long story, but the short story is, we get to our place where we're staying at, and I need to go to the supermarket, and I look at the map, right? This was like 10 years ago, so we didn't have like international roaming and all this kind of stuff, right? So I look at a map, and I'm like, okay, I know how to get there. I got lost for 2 hours because the road didn't go south, it curved. And so then I turned at the wrong thing, and then suddenly I thought I was going west, but really I was going north because it curved like this, and then it was in Paris. And
yes.
Michelle was so mad. Michelle's my wife. Michelle got so mad, and she was pregnant with our first child. It was the worst. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
I have been to Paris. I have not driven in Paris. I've Ubered as a passenger in Paris, but even the roads are so confusing, so I can totally understand.
On top of that, when we got out, when we were eliminated, the driver to take us back to the airport got lost on our way there. Literally, we took an additional 30 minutes because the driver, who was native to France, who was also using GPS, got lost on our way back to the airport.
Yes, and it's wild because there's so many people online that are just, how can you got to learn how to read a map, or my wonderful mother-in-law, why do you guys get lost all the time? Because it's hard,
and because they don't show the other teams getting lost, but almost everybody took that wrong turn and turns around right back around. They just wanted us to look like a lot.
But so far, like, we weren't lost in this part of the leg, right, Mike? We got to our castle pretty decent. It's after yeah.
So you guys get to the leg. You guys get to the castle. I want to fast forward a little bit. Yeah. I want to get to Glenda Lumumba because you guys get lost on the way, and then you got to talk about the accident or the car rolling back. You got give me some more details on that.
So, like we said, Lumumba second guessed himself, takes me to a road that's not really a road. I can't really tell that it's a road until it's not a road until people are literally walking with their dogs, and it was like a shepherd's like the cane, or what do you call it? What is it, like a crook or whatever? And they're looking
Thursday in France.
They're looking like what? And we don't speak French. So they're basically like, you're on our property, like get off our property. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to back up, but I can't turn around. So I have to like back up. I don't see that there's like a drop off and there's like grass and brush.
Okay. Now, mind you, if you look at the shot where it just shows the car and where, kind of coming forward, you see the brush off to the side, to the right side. Yeah. That's exactly what we saw. You cannot tell that everything that's green in that image is a little
drop off.
It's a drop off. It drops off everything that's green. You can't drive on the green.
Can't see it. So I back up and I'm like, oh my God, the car is flipping. Thank God there was like a post or whatever that held us up, because we literally would have been like tumbling, because it's a decent drop off. You can't tell, but it's like literally like,
it's not just a ditch, it's a hill.
It's a hill.
So it's a dip, and then the hill is about 100 meters, about a 15-degree decline.
Yeah.
And so
potentially it could have been very dangerous.
Wow.
Yeah, you can
dangerous.
see it in like the clip. You have it still there. You can see like, oh my God, like, but you can't tell from looking at the picture and looking at that still there's a drop off.
I never thought that.
I mean,
oh my God.
That still looks very scary. That looks like a step away.
Yeah, and if you look maybe like 100 feet ahead, it looks like it's level, right?
Exactly.
So you would think that it's just level the whole way through.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thankfully someone had called their neighbor, and she literally did come really fast. So it was like, boom, she was right there with the tractor. It was the grandma with the tractor.
Yeah, we call it Tractor Granny.
Listen, Tractor
riding it with her stallion.
She needs a business.
And she was looking for her money too, and we were like, Amazing Race.
That is another story. Okay,
we haven't told this story, not even on our podcast.
Go.
So, after she pulls us, and I had to help her because the first time she tried to pull us, she was at a wrong angle. So I was like, no, I ended up having to direct everything. Like, no, pull this way. We hook it, the chain, and she pulls us out. So right after we do that and we do our health checks and everything, and we're all cleared to go, then she comes back to us. And by this time we have EMS, and we also have an interpreter that's along with us with our security team, because everybody from the entire CBS production crew was with us to make sure that we were okay once they found out. So Tractor Granny, instead of letting us just leave, she starts to kind of come to us and talk to the French interpreter, in a very kind of assertive voice, like, where's my money? Like, hey,
you better have my money.
Where's my money? And so we don't know.
You better have my money.
We don't know what to say.
Tractor Granny's
like, heck no.
I need some new tires on this tractor.
Hey. So we didn't know.
Like, we only have them, and so people don't know Lumumba, but the Amazing Race, you don't have any money. We don't have anything on us other than what they give you, what the production gives you, right? So I don't have a credit card.
No.
In my notes, we got €0 this leg.
So we carried over maybe 40 euros.
Yeah.
And so we had 40 euros on us, but the interpreter's so embarrassed to even let us know, but she was like, kind of trying to be like, listen, give me my money. So we're like, listen, I'm like, babe, I said, this is the funny part. This is the funny part, right? So I'm like, babe, give me your bag, give me the cash, right? And she's like, what are you gonna do? I said, babe,
I'm like, we might need this money.
She's like, we might need this money. I'm like, babe, listen to me, because Tractor Granny ain't letting us go. So I took the money and I gave Tractor Granny, I don't know if I peeled off $40 for 40 euros. And I'm like, let's go. Let's let the production company handle the rest. We did that just so she would turn around
Yeah.
And she ended up talking to them for much longer, but we just peeled off.
We're like, please, can you pay her what she wants? Because what we didn't want is, you guys know, if you are an Amazing Race fan, if we don't settle something
Yes.
from someone, they could like Phil could say, like, you needed to settle that bill. And we were like kind of thinking race wise, like, oh my God, we can't have like something like outstanding or whatever. I don't know.
Exactly.
You should have raised your Jordan money. Like, this is all I have.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have.
It has King Hussein on it.
So wild. Like, yeah, and that's the rule, Mike. Like, even if there's, it could be a taxi bill, it could be a police ticket, or tractor granny.
You get a penalty, right?
Pull your car out of the ditch. Yeah, but that's such a different circumstance. I'm not sure if that falls in the rules, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you guys did.
This was the strangest. But she came quickly. She came so quick, like this had happened before. Like literally, she came, she had the hook, she had the chain, she had the tractor, and she arrived. Now, when they called her, she arrived about 5 minutes after they called.
Yeah.
But they didn't call her till maybe about 20 minutes in. And so the whole ordeal took about 25 to 30 minutes from start to finish.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we were already behind, and then you have that, and it's like,
She's like the French AAA.
Or maybe that's
So
why
I-
they don't trim it down purposely, because that's their actual business, taking out the cars from the ditch.
All this is their private property, by the way. This was like a 1.5 mile long driveway through their private farm.
Wow.
And that road was on the map, and it showed that it connected to the highway on the other side. But it didn't say that this was somebody's private driveway. And that's
Got
the
it.
reason why we had to turn around, and got stuck in a ditch.
So I found a comment online, and it says, "Can Glenda Lumumba show up to the next task in the tractor?" So I thought that was an interesting comment. And if not for the next task, then maybe for Halloween one year, you guys show up in a tractor.
We should have been a tractor journey.
That would have been.
This Halloween, they didn't know we were out by then.
Other than that, did you guys have like so you guys get the car out and you're still in good vibes? Love you guys, man. You guys, I could picture so many teams getting frustrated, giving up, or just like we're done, being negative. You guys still had great vibes, and people see that. People love that. Great job, man. And you guys, so you guys get the car out. Any other troubles getting to the roadblock? No,
because he has great directions at this point. You just need to go with what he originally thought.
I stuck with the plan.
But this was the cool thing. It's like we learned so much about each other during the Amazing Race. Like, he overthinks. When he's stressed, I'm overactive when I'm stressed, right? So we learned, like, during this, like, wow, like, follow your first mind, and then trust him a little, trust him more. So it was really good. I think the positive vibe for me was, we're just so happy to continue to race, because I really didn't want to go out like that. Like, I wanted to go out finishing the task and finishing the legs. I was just so happy that we were able to at least continue to fit, like, the race to finish. Yeah, I think that was what I was thinking.
Yeah, because at this point, when that car started tipping, I was afraid for my wife's safety. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. I was afraid for our safety. And so when it stopped on that fence post, I was praising and thanking God. Yep. I was praising and thanking God, because we had gone from having a TV moment to having a real life, situation. Yeah. And so when we climbed out of the car while it was on its side, mind you, it's leaning against a fence post, and you guys didn't see the hill, but if that fence post hadn't been there, we would have been rolling, and it stopped in a little creek down at the bottom. Oh. And so I was just so grateful. So we took a moment to the side, didn't know that we were going to be able to get back in the race. And at that moment, it was like, it doesn't matter. So when they came back and said we could continue to race, that's when we became so grateful, because it's like, you know what? Even if, we just didn't want to go out without finishing, we didn't want that feeling. But at that moment, there was like bigger picture type stuff going on,
We got
you had a big mind shift.
Yeah. We should all go back to that post and, like, I don't know, take it out of there, or like bring it home or something, or like thank you post. I don't know, man. We gotta do something for that post, man.
Do a shrine for
I'll
the
go
post.
take a picture with it.
Yeah, just take a picture of the post. Hey, you love me, post.
I love it.
You guys, on the next obstacle, I'm sorry, on the next roadblock,
Yes.
you guys killed it.
Michelle. So
Yes,
we literally
let's talk
saw
about
it. We're
that.
like, wow, that's super smart. Like don't try to memorize all that stuff. Go down, get the like figure out what names need to be like pulled, and then go back again. So that was super smart. And you figured that out quickly, because I would have been like, what am I memorizing? What am I memorizing?
So what place did you guys arrive at the castle?
And then I was like, what am I doing? I'm the first one here. I'm gonna rappel down, see what type of questions they ask, and then go back up and do it again.
They got there first, right? Michelle, tell me about memorizing the names, because they were showing that on the edit. I think there were a few that they didn't mention, but we were talking about it in the in the watch party.
I started to learn the flags and names individually because I had no idea which one went with the other one. Jean d'amour la Bruce. So Jean loves her brows. Jean also loves chapstick.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit. First of all, I was really excited because I love heights. So the moment I saw the castle, there was no, you want to do it or I do it. It was automatically me, and I opened it up. I was like, yes! I didn't even know what I had to do. I was just like so glad that we had to rappel. So I've seen Amazing, like I'm a big fan of Amazing Race too, and there has been a challenge before where I've seen people not at the very beginning go fast, but I just looked at it and I was just like, this is too much to handle. And actually, I second guessed myself. I was like, was there a lot of flags? I'm like, I really hope there was a lot of flags. If not, then I'm going to look dumb going down first. But you always second guess like what you actually did. And I don't know, like it just came into it. I was fun, and I was nervous because sometimes when you're first, you have a disadvantage because you don't know what to do, or you don't have someone to follow if they went down. So I don't know. I'm still amazed, and I get red like thinking about it when people tell me you did a great job because it makes me like nervous.
I was so proud of her when she told me about it.
Yeah.
But when I saw it last week on the episode, I was just like, I was so proud of you, babe.
Yeah.
You did so good.
Thank you.
And all right, so let's review the names. John with the brow.
Chappelle,
chapstick.
Chapstick, yeah.
Jean likes chapstick. Jean
Was
something
those
with
one
the
were brow?
brows.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one.
Francois something.
France,
I forgot what it
was it France, I will not fail you. France,
Yeah.
That's right.
Fayette.
What was the one that didn't make it?
Something about the French menu, and I didn't like room service the night before.
Oh my God!
I didn't like the room service, so it said something with menu, and it had like a little line, and I was like, I didn't like the room service last night, so the menu, no. And I forgot what the last one was.
That was great. Can we talk about Lumumba strategy? Will we do the hokey pokey and the funky chicken?
Hey, you mean the non-strategy I had?
No, man, yeah, you had a strategy, man. Yours involved dancing again.
Listen, mine involved like full immersion, full sensory immersion. I had to say it. I had to visualize it. I had to you remember in Madagascar, you remember the lion? How he was like, the lion paws. I was over there doing everything I could to remember Chappelle like a lion. It was like, Chappelle. If I had done that one more time, you'd probably see me doing the funky chicken or the electric slide to get those names. When I saw, because one of the crests was Chappelle, and Chappelle had the lion,
That's
and
right.
it was like lion paws.
Hey, I was rolling, man, just watching you shit. It
was crazy.
Wait, so when you got there, you were by yourself, right? So did you try and learn flags, or did you go down quickly?
Well, when I first got there, remember, since no one was there, I didn't know the strategy. So I stayed probably about maybe 10 minutes to memorize the actual
initial family
name.
tree.
But then I was like, you know what? I got to keep moving to see what the actual test is about.
Yeah,
so I figured it out, went down, came back up. I think I may have done it one more time than they showed. But but figured it out. It was pretty. It wasn't too hard after you kind of got it.
Yeah, it's so cool. You guys rappelled down a castle in France.
Yeah.
Do you know that these locations, like the castle that we started in, Castle Chateau de Benac, was the one in The Last Duel with Matt Damon and Adam Driver?
That's so
I didn't know
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know
Did not know that. Did not know.
That's very cool.
And I'm sure they use all these castles for a lot of different movies. Like,
Oh, for sure.
it's something out of Game of Thrones, man. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Such a great moment.
Talk to me, Lumumba, about your harness. Right? Was it were your goods? Talk to me about the goods. Were they okay? Was everything fine? Did you get tested?
Your boo-boo maker good.
The reason is, you guys remember the season 29 with Brooke, and I forgot her partner.
The window.
They had Scott.
Yeah.
They had, not them, but there was a team that had to repel and clean the windows, and he
That's
was
right.
like complaining, and
About
he
his
went
testicles.
and then he went to like the ER, and
He
that was
broke the window.
the ER station. So I was nervous because I was like, I remember that episode.
Dude, it's serious
I
business.
felt so bad during that episode because I was just like, he is complaining for no reason. I had no idea if they were here. He was probably scared. I don't know, but I'm like, come on, just do it.
All right, Michelle.
Right.
That's other seasons.
He was really
I
like
was
complaining.
watching.
And I was like, is this a thing like with guys? And like, I don't know. I'm like, babe, just be careful.
But Lewis,
Yeah.
you guys, hey, listen, if you're trying to have a baby, like that's the most important part of the body is like, and it's getting scissored between two harnesses.
Like, oh no. I figured they would probably put that in the edit.
Listen, we did some, just like you guys, we did some pretty intense training. So like
Yeah,
we had
we
done
were
rappelling and rock wall
yeah.
climbing and stuff like that. So
Nice.
it wasn't a big issue. It was,
Yeah.
I was with Michelle. Michelle, you were having the time of your life.
He was having
and
a blast.
I was like,
he
what?
forgot
I'm
about
with-
the Amazing Race. He stopped, he just was enjoying the tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially with what just happened too. It's like your frame of mind is different. And you're just kind of going through this, and you're like, "I'm so glad everything is okay. Let's go."
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
That-
grateful.
You guys, it's so like this whole leg. You guys just kept your positivity. It is awesome. And all right, so next spot we are going to. Oh, I'll never forget this. We have to go to Le Ferme de Turnac. All right.
Film the Turnac.
Yes.
So you guys remember that Le Ferme de Turnac
You've been waiting to do
was
this.
not on the map, right? You guys remember those words weren't on the map?
It was not.
It was
Pringle de Mon.
Kringle. On the additional notes, Mike, it said look for, also known as Kringle de Montfort. We're like, perfect. We found that on the map.
Turnac was on the map, but not the whole thing.
Not Le
Yeah,
Ferme.
Turnac
thing.
is, I think, the town.
Yeah. So Turnac was on there, but not okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we didn't go in the same way we came out. That was our first mistake. So we left like a more northern road, but Michelle found us. She found us on the map, and as we're going towards that area, towards Kringle de Montfort from the Turnac, so we start seeing signs that say Kringle de Montfort.
Wait, before we get there, can I say something?
Yeah.
We got into our first little fight after that, like after the whole leg, because Louis.
This is the first fight. First fight.
Yeah. Like
First fight.
yeah, like actually, like we were going back and forth with each other.
Yeah, it was an argument.
Yeah, it was an argument. So he goes to me, Michelle, I'm going to need you to help me pay attention because the way we went in, we were following signs to the castle. And he's like, I'm going to need you to pay attention how we go in and so we can know how to go out. And I'm like, so I'm supposed to take the notes, look at the map, do the navigation, look at the signs, and then figure out the way we came in and out. Like it wasn't on the map. And he was like, yes. And we were arguing back and forth. And he's like, I'm telling you that I can't do it by myself. And I'm like, I'm telling you that I can't take over another task because now it's too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we need to understand each other. And it was funny because he's sitting there mad and we're eating our food. And then we hear Emily and Molly arguing with each other, saying the same thing. Like,
Really? I didn't hear that.
yeah. They're like, Molly and Emily were like, I'm going to need you to help me out. And she's like, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. No, you have to. You have to pay attention to like the big landmarks. Like, how did you go in? Because
Sure.
It was a lot of adjusting here, Mike.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Glenda Lumumba, had this ever happened to you in any previous legs or in this leg? How are you guys with navigating?
Okay, so like we've had arguments, off screen or whatever.
Yeah.
Disagreements, whatever you want to call it. But kind of not like that. Like, I think it's more so like with us, because we're still getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so like we're still trying to figure out, okay, what each other's strengths are.
So I just relied on him completely on the for navigating. I'm just like, okay, except when we had like, I don't know, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but we'll talk about this. Except when it was like that dead end, everybody hit that dead end. And
everybody,
like, Lumumba, we gotta look like at the signs and at our surroundings. We can't just look at the map, because we figured that out in the mega leg, and then we had to do it again in Dom, like trying to get to Dom. So
ours were mainly like, how does she argue? How do I argue? Like, and both of us have like real intense silence. It's like,
oh no, we can go back and forth too.
Well, I mean,
go back and forth.
We don't go back and like
aggressive.
We go back and forth.
Yeah, it's more like, it's intense. We kind of do go back and forth.
Yes,
but it's not. But we don't go back and forth like that. Like, we don't cuss at each other.
Oh, well, no.
Some people cuss. Some people fight. Some people
But we still go back and forth though.
Yeah, I mean,
because we both we're very passionate about what we believe and what we think. You know. But I think for me, I was not secure in my navigation, so I relied on him.
So you guys having been together for, is this 13 years now?
Yes, 13 years.
Right?
Wow.
So I mean, just first of all, shout out, and
Thank you.
Awesome about
longevity.
that. Because you guys were literally you guys were literally, and we'll say this, you are our favorite couple on the show.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes, Louis and Michelle know this.
Hands down. So, anyway.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. Because we loved how you guys, like, it was like, this is your wife of 6 years, but she was like your girlfriend. It was like you guys were dating and so giddy, and like you were just so loving to each other.
Yes.
It was just so beautiful, and you had so much fun. So, like,
so much fun.
How do you feel like your relationship has really like helped you when it came to those tense moments?
Yes, the great question, man. So, unlike you guys, like, we went through those growing pains of arguing and how we argue in the beginning of our relationships. So we did have, like, when we first started dating and even our first 3 years of marriage, it was, I was the type of person that held stuff in. And then when things bothered me, I would just explode. So from my personal growth, I've learned, like, just communicate with stuff right away. And I can't have that stuff boil inside of me and later just, blow it out of proportion. And because, why am I blowing? Because she's saying, why are you being so mad if the current problem is this big, but I have all these other problems that I want to talk about. So I learned that. And I feel like, what else about our relationship?
I feel like going into the race, we knew a lot about each other, but recently we did learn how to communicate so well with each other. What he was saying, we talk about stuff now, even if it's bothering a little, we don't want to talk about it now. It's like, hey, that bothered me, but we're going to talk about it after kind of thing. Yeah. But in the race, Louis is very loud and very passionate. And I'm like, I always take a step back. I felt, and this happened in the first episode, that he wouldn't listen to me. So coming into the race, I was like, I don't want us to argue, because the moment you start arguing, things start coming down. And me, I'm very emotional. So if he were to argue with me during the race, I would probably cry and give the show what they want, basically. Like, shut down and, like, not be able to communicate. So that was one of the things going in where, like, we need to be positive. We need to have fun. We need to push each other. We need to, like, if there's a situation where I'm doing something bad in the challenge, you can't get mad at me. You got to like make me feel better about it.
Yeah. And that makes me think of one thing. So that's one thing about a relationship. Like, yes, we already worked out those kinks, so we didn't have to do it during the race, which I guess helped. We did talk about, not like, we could disagree and still be okay with each other. Like, there's things in life that you disagree with, but it's okay. We're different people. Let's keep it that way and move on. That reminds me, Mike, I got to give props to Marcus, right? Because his little brother left the keys all the way at the top of the hill.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
And what happened? Marcus put his head down. He said, all right, let's go get it. You know, I feel like in a lot of teams in the past, like I see a lot of teams in prior seasons, you know,
they're bickering.
What are you doing? Hey, you need
blaming.
more focus. You can't be doing stuff like, what's wrong with you?
100%.
And you could tell that Marcus is a great leader, but I'm pretty sure when they got back to the hotel room, Marcus let him have it. So yeah. All right.
And one of the questions that people probably have in their heads was, couldn't Michael just go up and get the keys and come back down to Marcus? But Lewis, you were telling me that you guys have to be in proximity of each other all the time. So if Michael forgot something, Marcus has to come up with him and go and get it.
And that's a hype.
You know what? I like that because it is a competition of your team. So it's very easy for someone to choose someone that's stronger to go run and do it.
So Mike, now I want to get back to the Canino de Mofo. So we are driving, right? We see all these signs for Gringo de Monfort, right? And we're like, we're going the right way. This feels great. This feels great. We stop in a city to the east of, remember guys had that little loop in the map? So the river that goes like that.
Yeah.
There was two ways to go this. There was one
you could go around
or this
you
way.
could go.
Yeah, I remember
We were going the other way.
We went east. If you look at the map, we went east. And we stop at a city there. We ask for directions.
Again, I second guess myself.
So that's the first time that we wasted some time there, right? Because everybody wants to know, Mike, how the hell did Michael and Marcus pass us? So we stopped there one time. So we're driving and we still and the gentleman, we put Gringo de Monfort in his GPS.
No, in the first stop, the guy said, "My wife has my phone." He's like,
but it's right there.
It's over there, and he points. And we look when he pointed. There's a sign that says Gringo de Monfort. So we're like, okay, perfect.
Yes,
I was right. Let's follow it.
Yes, and we drive, Mike, and we're driving. And we pass it.
And then, we're driving and I see the little sign and it says Gringo de Monfort. But it's like a hill. It's like there's nowhere.
What we were at was the scenic view from 1,000 feet in the air of the valley of the river of Dordogne. Scenic view of Gringo de Monfort. So
You're at the overlook
down there.
At the overlook of Gringo de Monfort.
Yes, the overlook. We're up in the mountains. There is no way down. We're in the mountain of up top. That's what all the signs were going, to the overlook.
There's no zip line. Michelle would love to just zip line straight down.
Across the valley.
So I made a U-turn just to make sure. Made another U-turn, started going. We stopped again in this area where there was a small bakery. You know, a few people once again didn't like the cameras, and then we couldn't get directions. And then we stopped. There was an American couple. They helped us out. Then we put Le Ferme de Turnac, right? Which meant farm, right? Lumumba farm, Le Ferme farm.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I didn't know that either. I listened to his podcast.
Oh, okay.
and then that's when we got directions. But we're very east. So we had to go very west to go over the bridge into Le Ferme de Turnac. Mike, they made up 40 minutes. Michael and Marcus said they timed us when we left the castle, including the time they took from going up and down to get their keys. 40 minutes. Michael and Marcus absolutely killed it in navigation.
But you know what? It just reinforces what the race is making, right? You guys are lost.
We're lost. We're lost.
And then the other teams, which I saw on the map as well, when I asked the gentleman, I was like, oh, we could go this way. And he's like, no, that's not a trail. And Luis is like, yeah, that's a hiking trail. The other teams kept getting stuck because there was so many lines and there were hiking trails.
Yeah.
So like Derek and Claire, I think they told us like that Claire's like, make a left. And it's like, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
You can't go there. So
that's how we lost our lead. Michael and Marcus beat us there. And we're driving. I'm like, I swear to God, I said this. I think only Michael and Marcus will probably get here fast. Not knowing that they left their keys. Not knowing that Michael struggled in the task a bit. But we get there. We see car number 6, which is Michael and Marcus's number, their sticker. And I look at the camera, I'm like, of course it's Michael and Marcus. That would
have been great in the edit. Oh, man. All right, so you guys get to the next location. You guys are at the Detour, right?
Yes.
You choose the games.
Yes.
And you chose the hardest game.
Yes.
Lewis and Michelle.
There was two reasons
start
we
with.
chose the game for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the first reason is we love games. We practice darts. We went to a whole bunch of like game places to practice games. So we thought we were going to be in our comfort zone. And then we were thinking, if Marcus and Michael go to the Walnuts, the only way we could get back our first place is getting them in the games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the games got us.
The game. The games got us. Props to Glenda Lumumba for getting that last game. Michelle went twice. I went twice, and that's our rule for switching detours is switch right away. Like if you're gonna make a switch, don't spend time there. We even had Emily and Molly are so smart.
Thank God we got the hardest game too.
Then I would have been stuck there. Yeah. Maybe it would have been a game that maybe we would figure out. Maybe we would have been still there. Who knows? But yeah. So we even Emily and Molly, they came to watch us for a bit. They saw us struggle.
They went to the games first.
They actually went to the games and watched us for a little bit, and then they went. Those girls are so smart. They do everything. They're so like they're quick. And then they went to the Walnuts, and then I told Michelle, all right, we lost. We spent a few, like, I want to say not more than 10 minutes there, more than 5, less than 10. That switched.
So your tally right now is almost at an hour of time lost because you got lost and because you started these games.
Yeah, sticking to my face, Mike. Thanks.
You know what? That's what I'm here for. Glenda Lumumba.
And while you guys are doing that, we're still in a ditch.
Right.
That's
I'm
right.
not gonna lie. I would love to see a map of,
that'd
like
be great,
cars
right?
moving at a certain time, and you could see like where they're going and everything.
Yeah, that would be great.
And then
if they weren't at the ditch, they were they were at the roadblock. But it was Glenda Lumumba, talk to me about getting to the detour.
Yeah, we really didn't have any issues.
We didn't have any problems.
After the ditch, we were able to get everywhere pretty quickly.
Yeah. We just never saw anybody again.
So you got there quickly. You open the clue.
And they
Walnuts,
talk about the games.
Games or the walnut. And
medieval games or walnuts.
We're going to the game.
Ain't nowhere in the world we're gonna sit here and squeeze juice out of a walnut. Come on,
So we did the games. No. We see the where you had to, what is it, like a little sack
toss.
So,
now my wife, she was, not to get too, but in high school, she was like state championship basketball player.
Nice.
20 years ago.
So she could handle that. I was good at balance. The last one was the toughest, the one with the clown.
Okay.
And the ball coming up. Slide
because I tried it first, trying to lead him, and that didn't work. But me following my husband, I was like, wow, look at this little lesson here. Following my husband worked out the best and the fastest.
Yeah, you hear that?
That's right. Well, she followed your directions on navigation. She's following your directions in the game.
Yes.
Great.
How many times did you guys do it?
Once. We got it the first. After I did it, I tried to do it.
Tried it,
and then
we switched, and then we got it.
That was it.
Yeah.
We were there doing the walnuts, right, Mike? We were getting the juices out of the walnuts, and then I hear Michelle say, Derek and Claire got it. I'm like, got what? The games. I'm like,
he's so competitive.
I'm just
he was so
if they
mad.
could do it, then we could do it, but we didn't do it.
Yeah.
So the thing was we kind of warmed up to that last game though. Yeah. We started off with the thing we thought was easiest, so that we could kind of build up to the hardest one.
Yeah.
So we started off with the rocks and on the balance beam, and we kind of got that, and then we moved up. The hardest one, I mean, the ball was hard, but actually the sack toss for me was difficult.
You
had
a disadvantage, right? Compared to
That had to be both you guys had to make it, right? Not just one person.
Yes. She kept making it. She kept making it at the top.
And it was consecutive.
And I kept throwing it and it would go like,
That is hilarious. And it was funny. There was a cut where it shows Aubrey and Davey, upset and arguing. And then all of a sudden they cut to Lumumba. Kobe. It was like they changed the music. It was such a funny cut.
Yeah.
So
they actually, at certain times they stopped the music, so we did have it quiet some times during the games.
Yeah.
I guess because they're like, oh, it's just them. Let's take 5.
Only one here.
So
everybody, it's funny. They didn't just stop the music. Everybody came to the ball where you're like having to like follow blindly, like the little ball, the
Clown
ball.
ball.
Everybody's watching you.
Everybody came to the ball and watched us do it.
Yeah.
So
we were the last ones. There was nothing else to see.
And he was doing such a good job. I think they were like, "Oh, let's see if he can get it on the first try," and you did.
Nice.
You did.
But that was a good lesson for really respecting your spouse's strengths, and that's what I learned at that point.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, my wife is good at execution.
Yes.
I'm good at communication.
Yes.
And that little tweak right there, like,
Made a big
allowed us to,
difference.
like, it made a huge difference. So,
Yeah.
so it was, and plus we chose the
That's
game because we were like, if we're going to go out, we at least go,
Fun.
it's not going to be
We're gonna have
churning
fun.
a walnut, right?
Yes, that's a great strategy.
And we have no execution or communication.
Oh, no, you have good execution.
Right, exactly.
It's all
My
execution for them.
My left.
I even turned upside down and I was like, okay, pull the right one a little bit. No, nothing worked. By
That's
the way,
hilarious.
the walnuts were hard to find.
Because you have to go out and find them,
Yes.
bring them back, and then wow.
They said they were like there was a red and yellow thing around the trees. So we're like looking up. I'm looking for a bag of walnuts. We're looking everywhere.
I'm looking for them to I have no idea where walnuts come
Yeah.
from. I'm thinking they're hanging up the tree.
No, and then since we're the third one's there already, and we see like the tree with the thing, we're like, oh, they probably took all the walnuts from here. Let's go to a next tree. Still nothing. We go to a next tree.
Oh yeah, we went down so many trees, and we're like, wait a second, let's go back where they had the colors, the yellow and red, and we looked down.
Did you
that's where
step on it or something?
I don't know.
But a lot of teams had trouble finding them, and they didn't show that. But it was funny.
Yeah, so we lost our lead there.
How long did it take?
Finding the walnut. How long did that take? Because we have no reference.
Finding the walnuts, no, it took
No,
5 minutes.
no,
you know,
it was
running
fast.
around. It was probably not even 5 minutes, and then
But Marcus and Michael told me that at first they couldn't find it for a while, that they were about to switch to the games because they couldn't find it at first.
and then the whole detour was probably 20 minutes.
Okay.
You couldn't. There was no way of going faster. All
Yeah.
you were
The
doing-
game.
Yeah.
If you get the games, that's faster. But
How fast did it take you guys to finish the games, Glenda Lumumba?
We were told we did it the fastest.
We're told we did it the fastest,
but
I mean,
as far as the detour,
really.
but
yeah,
we don't. I mean,
we don't know.
At
that point, you had
it
no
wasn't
reference.
fast enough
It
to
wasn't fast
stay in
enough,
the race.
yeah. I mean, we were.
And I think at that point, it's so funny because I did not feel as much pressure. I kind of finally relaxed and was like, you know what? We're just
Enjoy the
we're just
moment.
gonna enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been more relaxed and enjoyed the moments more, but I felt like so much pressure to do well as we could that I just did not allow myself to have fun and relax. So no, it wasn't fun for me. The whole Amazing Race experience, unfortunately, wasn't fun for me. But it was a great
intense the whole time.
it was a great experience. It just was like, wow, it just wasn't fun. So now moving forward, I'm like, wow, like any new experience, like being moms, Michelle, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, Glenda, like don't wait until the baby's here to enjoy the experience. Like enjoy even now, like
Enjoy
trying
the
to
moment.
get to the conception process.
Yeah.
I'm on purpose gonna enjoy even this stage of our lives where we don't have our child, even though I desire to be a mom. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy my husband.
Yes.
That's right. What a wonderful, beautiful lesson. I love that. Just sit down, just stop and watch what's happened. Like be present in the moment. Yeah.
love it.
100%.
Love it.
All right. We're done with the games. We're done with the walnuts. You guys have to head to the pit stop. Lewis, Michelle.
That was another adventure. The last adventure, and
I found it fast.
Friends.
I definitely found it fast on the map. I knew
Yeah.
where we were going. I knew how to lead them there. Get to it. And then I'm sure this is what happened to you guys. There's a road that goes right and there's a road that goes up. And Lewis goes to me, which one are we taking? I'm like, I have no idea. And he's like, take a guess at it. Let's go. And I'm like, I think it's to the right. We go to the right. We got a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the same dead end you guys got?
Same
Yep,
thing.
same dead
Same
end.
dead end.
So and what's crazy is like we went back and on the up where we're supposed to go, we see a sign that says Dom, but to go the
other
opposite way. And I was like, all right, so we go that way, and
Because
then
it's the town. We had to go to the town, the
Dome,
restaurant Dome.
yeah, Dome,
But
yeah.
so when we came back from the dead end area, like we get to the intersection again, and I'm like, oh wait, there's a sign that says Dome is that way. Did we miss it? And that's why we got a dead end. And then so we went back all the way to a bridge that we had passed before, and then came back. But everybody was having that trouble. Everybody kept doing the little.
Yeah, it was probably 4 cars at the end, 5 cars doing this. So
anybody could have gotten first.
Yeah,
anybody could have.
I bet you Michael Marcus got it fast. But
Well, it showed them that they got lost in the same dead end.
I'm not sure.
I think our camera. That is it. I think our camera people had told us that if we would have gone straight up and right away, we would have passed Emily and Molly, which they got. What did they get? That they got second.
Yeah.
But then all of us were doing that, so you could say what ifs for so many things.
But here's what I should have thought. It's the clue said a scenic view or something panoramic view or something.
We should have thought
it should have been elevated.
Go up in the mountains. So we talked about that afterwards. Any future racers out there, remember that. And
if it says panorama,
go up.
But panorama could be like
panorama is usually like a lot. Like it's not down.
Yeah, you're trying to get like a huge wide angle view, so you have to usually get height.
And then we got there 4th place. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Did you guys? So you guys had any other trouble? Did you guys like go all the way back to the bridge like we did, or you guys just went up right afterwards, like after you saw dead end?
We got to the dead end. The sign for Dom was like it wasn't too far away from the dead end, and we went straight up the hill.
Okay,
yeah.
You know, it was very uneventful. It was like it was the most uneventful. You know, we were just hoping we saw somebody, or maybe somebody got lost. You know, or maybe somebody fell in the ditch.
Maybe someone's in another country. Maybe someone's in another country.
But it was so peaceful though. I think the peaceful part came from like it was like what Michelle was saying about that laser focus that comes when you're in the end. It's like, you know what? Hey, there's no need or no room for like being too nervous or anything. The only thing that's gonna help is just staying focused.
Yeah.
So we drove up the hill, we got to the top, and we counted the cars.
And we were like, relax, but we you know, we're gonna finish strong. So Lumumba's like, come on, let's run to the pit stop. I'm like, let's run to the pit stop.
I mean, what you guys said, you never know. David and Aubrey were in the town of Doma up there, just going around in circles, and there was a lot of one ways. So they kept like trying to get to the restaurant, and they couldn't get to it.
We were having our sandwiches and our pizzas,
And they're
and we saw them drive by. We're like, they're still lost.
We're like,
Oh
wrong
my
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how far behind you were behind David and Aubrey?
I have a question. Do you guys know, like literally, Louis, Michelle, do you guys have any idea of when we came in?
Well, we saw you. I remember we saw you guys.
I wanted
saw
to
you
hug
guys.
you so bad, but they didn't let me hug them. They were like, no, stay away. Don't talk to me.
God, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
But I
yes.
wanted to hug you so bad.
But
So
we weren't sure. I know.
we did our interview, and we were 4th. So
I'm like, what, 40, 45 minutes maybe?
minutes, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. We have no idea
we don't
how
know.
close or how far away Aubrey and David were.
Yeah.
And like that's the one thing that we wish that we had known. Like how much closer were we before, you know. But
I wish I could remember where we saw them pass us by, because I don't have any relative time thinking
Yeah,
about
they
it.
seclude. You know how it is. They seclude us. It's really hard to tell at times.
Yeah.
What a race, guys! Everybody's gonna miss you guys. You guys,
100%.
and I saw you guys got second place twice in the first 2 legs. I was like, these two are in it to win it. They're like, I'm like, they're gonna be there to the end.
Yeah.
You guys had a few hiccups in the road, but you guys kept your positive energy. You guys kept your love for each other. You are an amazing example of what a relationship should be. And
You know,
Oh,
I
thank
want to
you.
say one thing. You guys ever seen that commercial with the Staples Easy button but I want a button that's just like a Lumumba button, right? It's just like I hit the button and I get, the most positive reinforcement.
Yes.
All day. I'm just like, yes, I need some Lumumba in my life.
Wait a second.
I think we got
I have something right here because I would buy a Lumumba button too.
Yep.
Hey, we
You know
got
what?
an
Maybe
idea.
we should create a little Lumumba easy button.
There you go.
You know
There you
what?
go.
Wow, that would be great.
That
I might
would
look
be
into
great.
that.
You might
I have
have
one-
to.
Yeah, I have one more idea. You also have to add Glenda's laugh to it.
Yes.
just to cheer me up. Glenda, you gotta put your laugh on like Apple's ringtones or something.
Ringtones?
Your laugh has to be my ringtone. I love your
It's
laugh.
so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna have to
She got me with
copyright
that
my
laugh.
ringtone with the
Your laughter.
on the ringtone.
Yeah, she
Guys,
got me
we're
with that
on to
laugh.
something, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
we're-
all the fans would buy it as well.
I'm pretty sure
You guys,
it would hit.
listen, when are those Croqueta shirts like going on sale? Because listen, after these past episodes, everybody is like, yo, like this is a hot team. Everybody's been loving you from the beginning.
Yes.
And I think now's the time to start merchandising, man. And we
Oh
want to
my
get
God.
the first set.
Nice,
You have a website or something? You guys?
No,
have any
not
on
right now.
YouTube?
Not right now. This is actually, we're just
Okay.
representing a friend's brand. Did you guys even know what croquetas were when you saw the shirt or no?
No.
No, not at all.
Most teams don't know. That's why. It's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny.
I heard they're delicious. Hopefully we get to have some.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did have some croquetas.
Gotta
but
meet us
next-
in Miami.
Next time we have, we gotta send you guys a video.
Yes.
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 Got it.
Absolutely. So,
Glenda
alright, so-
Lumumba, you guys finished this leg. Sorry, Louis, just
Yeah.
real quick. You guys finished this leg. Unfortunately, you were last place. At this moment, try to remember this specific moment. What did you guys think about the teams? Who did you think was going to go far? Who did you think was going to, be top three? But at this moment in the race.
At this moment, Phil literally asked us, "Who do we think?"
Oh,
was
yeah?
going to-" He asked us
Yeah.
on the mat. So at that little scene right there, he asked us specifically, Glenda Lumumba, who do you think is going to take it to the last, the finals? And so I said,
All right. So, see, my wife is gonna get us in trouble.
No.
I was going to say
Who do you think we're going to be in the final two or the final three?
I know. And you can go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say
Well,
it.
no, I don't want to get nobody.
No.
in trouble.
You're not gonna get anybody in trouble. I want you to say I was just being funny. Go ahead and say it. We both kind of were on.
Now you're making me second guess myself.
No second guessing.
I told Phil that Lewis and Michelle, and then what did you tell?
We
Phil?
said it. My wife said it absolutely was gonna be you.
Yes.
I really, in my heart, and now you got your head and you got your heart, right? And I love you guys, but you already know who has our heart, right? So, it's the twins.
Yeah.
So,
their story's amazing.
That's
I-
just amazing story.
So we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
However,
We don't know.
I went with my heart. My wife went with her head. And,
my head and heart.
I love you, Glenda. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna get the button anymore. I'm just gonna get the laugh ringtone.
Oh my God. Oh, I've been demoted and downgraded and all that.
That is honest to God. He asked us. I wonder if he asked any other teams, but he might have. But he definitely asked us. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But
That's
you
what
guys are like, you guys are doing great. You guys are, extremely every leg that we ran, once you guys started getting into it, because that first leg we were like, are you guys going home? but after that we were like, okay, we need to make sure we stay ahead of these guys because because we're not going to beat them in a foot race, and they're really good at the roadblock. So so in Detour. So
Yeah, definitely.
You guys
We're
definitely
definitely continue to watch and cheer everybody on.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
looking
ready.
forward to seeing how this thing pans out.
Yeah. So guys, if it's a boy, it's boom boom. What if it's a girl? What's her name?
I
Don't say
know.
it.
His mother. Sorry. His mother just on Sunday was like, BB. And he was like, I hate that name. So anybody that's named BB that's watching this and listening to this podcast, we apologize. Any BBs, No offense to any BBs out there.
No, my thing is, we were so thoughtful about a boy's name that I don't want to just give my child like leftover afterthought of a nickname.
Yeah.
No, I want us to be thoughtful about our girl's nickname too. It may be BB, but we haven't thought it out.
Now it has to be.
No,
you've talked about it enough. You've talked about it enough now.
It's a question mark on the girl, but we really feel like our first child is going to be a boy.
We feel like that.
But we'll be happy for a healthy child. So if it's a girl, of course, we'll be
absolutely
ecstatic.
Absolutely. So
she'd be a mini me. Can you imagine a mini Glenda? Walking around,
she's
gonna be a big little girl.
She's gonna be taller than me.
Big girl. I love it.
She's gonna be 4 years old, looking daddy in the eyes. But what's next? What's next for you guys?
Oh man! All right, we're ready to become parents too. Like that's our goal. Like yes, like we went a long time enjoying life. We did get started a lot younger than you guys. So we love kids. Like I'm not sure if you guys know, but I also teach Taekwondo. I teach martial arts to little ones. I used to own a martial arts school. I teach at preschools. I teach 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds.
Wow.
And
You have to see his classes.
Yes,
they're so good.
Yes. But we got into a groove of just being with each other and we are the youngest siblings of both of our families. Like I'm the youngest. I have 3 older sisters. Michelle has older brothers, and we had a lot of babies around us.
They all have kids.
So maybe we lost the fever a little bit there. We were also traveling a lot. We were also just going to different countries, traveling, spending time with each other. And she obviously had a job where she was traveling. She was going on tour all the time with Pitbull. So it wasn't the right time. We told ourselves, she told me, if we get on the race, I'm quitting my job. This will be our last hurrah, last adventure.
Season 34, you guys are 34, last adventure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
it.
family. Wow. But we haven't started yet. I'm like, maybe after the holidays we can start.
Hey, we got a trip to Barcelona. We got a Barcelona trip that we got to use within the year. So
that's a perfect, just a perfect place to start planting your seed.
Make your mark.
I'm sorry for being a little vulgar there.
No way, dude. Oh,
listen,
that's great.
This is the boom room, so
so many ways.
Right?
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We've been going on for over an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
Any closing remarks, guys?
No, it's.
We love you guys.
Yes,
we love you. We look forward to just continuing, our friendship.
Yes.
And you guys are definitely relationship goals.
Thank you.
For us moving forward.
Yes, definitely. We love how you have fun. We love how you enjoy each other. It's one thing to be married. It's another thing to really like each other. Yeah. Like I like my husband and I love my husband and I enjoy his time, like I enjoy my time with him and I can see the love and I can see the fun that you guys have. And so it inspired me because like I said, I didn't have fun on the race, but so moving forward, you guys inspired me to not take life so seriously and to just enjoy every moment. So thank you.
Thank you. And hopefully, because you guys were the couple of the season, hopefully we can take over that role a little bit and make you proud.
Yes.
And hopefully we kept having fun and positivity too.
And I can't wait till you guys come to Miami and dance a bachata down here with us.
That's right.
Bachata. I love bachata.
All right, guys. Yes. Thank you so much for watching the show. We're going to dance some bachata out here.
Boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom.